Good morning, Joe.
You got your nerve.
And you sound like you just woke up like literally a second ago.
I wish. Well, I just got back from dropping the kid off at school. So,
man, that's unbelievable how fast you did that.
Like 8 minutes.
My God, did you even bring the car to a complete stop, or was it a rolling stop?
I tried not to. I actually kind of opened the door and shoved him out.
Oh my God.
He knows how to duck and roll, though. It's fine.
Oh my God. As the teachers are calling the cops on you right now.
Yeah, that's all right. I got connections. I'm good. I'm gonna go get my coffee refilled. I'll be right back. Oh, 2 announcements. First one is general meeting, and the housing provider support meeting next week will be in person. The housing provider support meeting will be at Ezzy's at 8:45 in the morning, 8:30, whatever. Get breakfast, coffee. Ezzy's Buffalo Road, and that will be Pat and maybe Bob, but Pat for sure. But it will not be on Zoom. So if you want to attend, you have to be there in person. The general meeting that evening is at 515 State Street in person and on Zoom both. But it's 515 State Street. There's parking there. We'll have pizza and beverages, but that's pretty much it. There won't be any alcohol. There's no catering. It's just a meeting space. It's in the same building as Metro Cowork. And the parking lot is actually right in front of Lighthouse Management's office. So if you're familiar with where Scott Sepin's office is, it's right there. That's where the parking lot is.
515 State Street.
Yep. And I'm going to go fill my coffee and come back.
No
That's
problem.
all I got. So this is your show, sir. Take off.
Give me a cup. Light on the cream, no sugar.
Gross. Drink it black.
All right. So obviously that's going to be, I assume 6:30, 6:45. I assume is going to be for networking, and it starts at 7:00. So for anybody, take a look at it.
Of course, it does me a lot of good to be talking here, doesn't it, Joe, when it's muted? I'm having a tough time with this computer this morning.
Go ahead, Joe. What did you say?
Well, after I kicked myself out of the meeting, I kicked myself out, then I had to come back. Did Andy mention about questions for Chris Sardone?
No, he did not.
Questions for the accountant, for taxes for Chris relating to any question, actually. Chris is a great accountant and tax preparer. Any questions, please send them to either Susan, myself, or Andy. I'm sorry. Send them to Susan, myself, or Andy, and we'll get them over to Chris so he can have a minute to think about them before the meeting. Yes, there is pizza and something to drink there. It's and 515 State is kind of by Kodak Tower, between Kodak Tower and Lyle J.
Okay. Yes. So Chris is speaking next week. Then he didn't tell us Chris was speaking. He just told us the meeting was live for the housing providers, and the one for 7:00 meeting is going to be on Zoom and in person.
Yes, that's the general meeting. The general meeting is Chris Sardone, and that's at 515 State.
Okay, I know. And by the way, for those of you who don't know, Chris Sardone, a lot of us use him, and not only is he a great CPA, he's also does investing himself, and I can definitely attest to this. Number one, like Joe was saying, if you have questions, you can get them answered for free. Okay, and I'm speaking just for myself. I know other people have had this experience. Prior to him, I was using CPAs that were not all of them created equal. I used to make a lot less money in real estate, and I was using other CPAs who, just because they said they were a CPA, I was paying more money with them when I was making less money. And then when I went over to Chris Sardone, obviously my business was taking off. I started paying less in taxes, as crazy as that sounds. And what was fantastic was that he is actually also an investor. So he understands. So if you have the opportunity to go there, meet him and talk with him and get your questions answered, do it. If you want to call a bigger CPA firm and get charged a couple $100 an hour to meet with them, you can do that too. Or you can do it there for free. It's up to you. Okay. Sorry, Joe, I didn't mean to interrupt you.
No, you're great. No, please do, go.
And by the way, I actually had, which really solidified my belief in Chris Sardone. About 1.5 years, 2 years ago, I have a gentleman that I do stuff with. He uses one of the bigger CPA firms in Rochester, very well known as the Bonadillo Group. Look them up. They charge an arm, a leg, and half a foot. Okay. And they wanted my business. They referred to me from one of the gentlemen I do real estate with. And they go, Joel, let me at least take a look at your taxes. Okay. I said, what the heck? And they came back. They go, Joe, the person you're using is doing fantastic for you. The only difference between us and them, we would do the exact same thing. We're just going to charge you a lot more money. And they were that honest with me. And I go, fantastic, and so that right there. And I actually told Chris, I tell people that story, and Chris actually chuckles at that. So again, if you go there, I would definitely get there. Okay. We're going to kick this thing off. Holy smokes, we're a few minutes behind schedule over here. Scott,
No, we're not. We're doing good.
Do we? All right, perfect. For those of you who know, those of you who don't know, this is the AREIS meeting, the alternative real estate investment meeting that we hold twice a month. This is the morning meeting. Next week is going to be, obviously, the housing providers, which is tenants and toilets. Next, during the evening, is going to be the main meeting. We do the morning ones for the people who, some of us don't have to work, which is fantastic. And then we also do the evening meeting, which is going to be in 2 weeks, which is going to start at 6:45 p.m. for networking, 7 o'clock. That's going to be aimed for more of the evening. 99% of the people getting involved in real estate obviously have to work. A lot of us who are pretty blessed don't have to, which is what lets us get on this call. Okay. And also you can check out, for those of you who don't know, FFREIA.com, FFREIA.com for all the meetings, when they start, all the events going on. Check it out. Okay. But basically, open forum. We really don't usually have a set agenda. If you have questions, you are more than welcome to ask, more than welcome to, basically just put it out there and we'll answer it to the best of our abilities. Don't take what we say as gospel. Well, what works for us may not work for some of you, and vice versa. Please always talk to your accountant, and definitely talk to your attorney. Okay. Because a lot of us are in different, I should say, in different levels in regards to other people here on this call. Okay. But basically, no tenants, no toilets. We steer away from that. Anything having to do with real estate, making money, we'll definitely talk about if you have questions. Scott Spear is usually on the call with us. I'm like his co-host. He is right now in Miami at a mastermind group down there. So he is not going to be able to join us. He was actually texting me over the last few minutes. He's actually getting ready to go into his meeting, but typically he would also be on too. So right now, I guess you're stuck with me and whoever else wants to join in. I don't know if anyone has anything that they're looking to sell, looking to buy. Put it out there. If you have anything, this is a chance to be able to, because all of us are looking. Anyone got anything they're looking to sell or buy? Let us know here right now, please. Somebody has to have something. I know.
Definitely looking to buy.
What are you looking to buy? Name and what are you looking to buy or looking to buy?
Sure. So my name is Matt Barbaccia. I was on, I think, a meeting with you guys probably 3 weeks ago now. And it was my first meeting. So anyway, short little background about me. So I'm an investor here in upstate New York, but I have a property in Hawaii right now that's like my long distance, long-term rental that I basically had a house hack to get. So I was living out there for a couple of years and made that happen just through conventional financing. But now I'm back in upstate New York and came across a guy in Geneva who's selling off his college housing portfolio. And so he's got a couple properties right now that he's looking to get rid of. He's kind of just at the end of his straw with it, and he's moving to Florida and he doesn't want to deal with it. So I'm closing on one of his properties this week. That's like a 5.3 or it's a 5.2 I'm going to convert and stuff like that. But I'm just looking for more properties that meet that criteria. I guess I'm going to try to niche into college housing. And I know we were talking about, we're not necessarily talking about tenants and toilets right now, but that's kind of the direction that I'm looking to get into, is to focus on that. So I would even open up to like college markets in Rochester and just kind of stick to that model, so that I can specialize in that area and not try to overdo it. Because prior to that, I was thinking about larger multifamily, but now I kind of want to start small, get some of that momentum with those types of housing situations, and then kind of go from there. So if anybody knows of college housing areas that would that people are interested in selling homes in, let me know.
By the way, put your information in the chat box. Okay. At least that way people know. And then I actually have one property about 4 minutes away from the local college here, which I'm actually going to be putting out to people also. So, but yeah, I'll do that afterwards.
Sure. And it looks like for some reason it says the chat is disabled. Does anyone else see that, or is that just me?
That's really weird. Chat should be working.
It just says chat disabled. But I see your guys' commentary, but it won't let me put anything in there. I can send an email out afterwards too, if that works.
Well, I don't understand that because Ray posted something.
I've got the
So-
same thing on my screen, guys. It says chat disabled. Must be a button got hit somewhere.
Yeah, well, given. All right.
Yeah, I was trying to put my information on there too, but
While we're trying to figure that out, I have several buyers. One buyer in particular looks for single family houses that he can do work on. It doesn't matter the price range. The only criteria is that it has to be older or younger than 1900. So anything 1900 on, and it has to be a minimum of 1,000 square feet. So if anybody has anything, he buys on market, off market. And then I have a company out of the UK that only buys off market properties. So if anybody has anything they're considering selling, I can possibly get it sold for you quickly and easily without scaring off the tenants.
Hey, Matt, is that Rocco's properties? Are you buying Rocco's stuff? Is he getting out?
Not Rocco. This guy's name is Ron or Don. Sorry, Don.
Okay, I don't know.
Don something or other. What's his last name? Wheeler. Don Wheeler.
Yeah, I don't know.
But if
All right.
Rocco's interested, let me know.
All right, because Rocco does a lot of college housing down that way too. So
Okay, that's good to know.
actually,
What was this
he does a bunch of stuff in Geneseo too. Rocco Dragani. He does a lot of
Dragani.
stuff he does a lot of stuff down Geneseo way also. So he's got a lot of Geneseo properties.
Okay, Don's like I think he's like the fire code inspector up in Geneva. So he's like he knows like the network pretty well. At least what he's told me is that he knows a couple investors in the area as well. But he's looking to obviously move out of that. But I'll write down that guy's name. So I definitely would like to just at least talk to him. See what does he do his own property management?
Yeah, he does. High Street Property Management, I think is his company name. High Street.
Okay.
It's not High Falls. I think it's High Street Property Management.
Okay, good to know. I was curious about that. There's a couple out of state investors in that area in Geneva that Don was telling me about. But okay, thank you.
Are you located in Geneva?
No, I have like my family has a cottage ways down Seneca Lake, so familiar with the area. I'm located in Rochester though.
Oh, okay. All right. Perfect.
Mhm.
Great place to network right here.
Absolutely.
Huh. All right. I'm gonna leave for a minute and I'll be back.
All right.
Not that I know, but maybe I can figure out how to unlock this chat if I leave. I kicked myself out before and when
I think
came
it's
back,
working.
It's fixed. Yeah, you should
I
see
fixed
my.
it.
Yeah, should
Yeah.
be good.
Yeah. So does anyone else have anything that they are looking to sell right now, or even looking to buy?
Joe, I'm looking to buy self-storage, as you know, and I'll say this every single month. I mean, in any event, yes, self-storage, 5,000 square feet and above, off market. If you know anybody in your neighborhood, your backyard, or anywhere except for California, I'll buy it. I want it. So I'm sure everyone's getting into the market now. I know that, but that's okay. But yep, I want the storage units, please. So if anyone knows anyone, please, by all means, I appreciate the networking on this, please. So thank you.
Perfect. Anyone else? I've got a house which I got to see if it's still available. It's a 3-bedroom, 1-bath house over by RIT College. It was rented. It's going to be delivered vacant. ARV on that one is right around 130,000. That one's going to go for, I think we're at 89,000, somewhere right around there. It's all cash. It's on a slab. There's no basement. And there's a septic tank that they put in and leach field 2 years ago. So that's set. It's in pretty good shape. Only thing I would do is like the cabinets and the countertop, which isn't really that big of a deal in this place right here. Definitely for college rentals, you're right there. Okay. I don't know if I have anything else. So everything is pretty much going pretty quickly, which most people know. And I'm also looking for commercial, residential, looking for more properties. I am going to be looking for storage facilities. I'd like to do the eastern half of the United States. Again, start local and then start spreading out. I will look also at warehouse space, industrial, and some commercial space, depending on where it is and what it currently has or had. Okay. So that's what I have. Anybody else? Everybody's good. No one has a Christmas wish list, which is probably, I think Christmas is what? 13 Saturdays away, 14 Saturdays, people. You better get your list together fast.
Joe says he has this Christmas list thing, but Joe's already working into like February and March of next year. So don't believe a word he says about that.
I am so already into my January 1st. I tell people it's technically October 1st. I am literally already starting to work into the first quarter of next year, because I want to be able to set whatever we do today won't come to fruition sometimes 30, 60, 90, 120 days out. So I like to figure out, I want to figure out where I'm at going into, I don't want to figure out where I'm at the next 30 days. I look at my board, which is to the left here right now, and I see exactly what's going on. And if that board's empty, there's problems. But I never want to see that board empty. So before we get started on stuff, I know there's some new people on here. You're more than welcome to ask questions if you want to introduce yourself, and at least, you know, tell us what you're looking for. Because Andy, I can't tell if anyone's new on here right now or not.
I'm gonna say I think we got a couple new people, but let's let Tarsha go.
Go ahead.
Hi, everybody. I have some healthcare experience. I'm actually a nurse. I just got my real estate license this past winter. I learned very quickly about the hands in the pot situation. And I'm into looking more so to build a small portfolio now. I'm not really interested in the buying and selling anymore. I'm more so interested in investing in, I'm starting from the bottom. So I'm completely green, very willing to learn. I'd love to start with like small multifamilies, or even a single family rental property just to get my feet wet. But I am really looking to transition career-wise. So I am very green and open and willing to learn. And if anybody needs any help with anything, I only work a day a week. I'm open all week. So whatever I'm really information seeking at this point in time.
Welcome. You're in the right place. And the first thing I'm going to beat Joe to right now is check out biggerpockets.com.
Yes, sir.
All right, you're already there. All right, good. Good. All right, there. I guess you beat both of us to it this time. But welcome. This is what FFREIA is all about, is helping people network and get information and learn something new. And there's people who've been doing this for 20 years that still come to meetings and learn new stuff. So
awesome sauce. Thank you and for having me.
Yeah. And by the way, I'm trying to put my contact information in the chat. And of course I misspelled it, so I'm going to do it again.
that was awesome, by the way. GIW buys.
Did I just spell it wrong?
You did. That was
You
good.
don't have to be technical to do real estate here, okay?
It is
living proof.
It is the truth. And he's in the 585, by the way. So
Yeah.
when he gets his number right, it'll be a 585. And it looks like we got 4 new people total, including Tarsha. I hope I pronounced that right. It looks like Celeste is new. Raymond says he's new, and someone named Jay Haas, but I'm sure it's Jay is their first name and then Haas is their last name or something. So they're all new. If one of them wants to unmute and say hi and what they're
Let
here
us
for.
know what you want. Don't be shy over here.
I'll go. Hi guys.
How are you?
Raymond here. Like Tarsha, I'm pretty new. I started studying real estate investing at the beginning of the year, and just really started taking it seriously, I guess, acquiring the knowledge back in July. So just trying to get the business going, get the business off the ground, finding resources. Like I reached out to First Freedom prior. I didn't know what I was doing, but I'm glad I looked into I read a book on creative financing by Wendy Patton, and she referred the National Realtors, I guess, Real Estate Investors Association. So, but me personally, I'm looking to invest in 3 bedrooms, 2 bathrooms, multifamilies, anything really. I guess my question for you guys is the real estate, the creative aspect of it. Do you guys buy deals like that? Or do you teach how to structure those deals as well? I know I saw the classes on that. I haven't been able to get into one though yet.
Yeah, the answer to your question to that, Raymond, is yes and yes.
Okay.
And you know, we'll touch upon that. But yeah, it's a great place because there's people here. You got to remember, there's like over 240 members in this group. And some of them who we talk to, they just want to focus on owner finance deals.
Right. Okay.
So it's a great place to network, great place to learn. Are they out there? Yes. Are they easy to find? No. If they were, every single person would be doing it.
Okay. Yeah,
But
I have a realtor friend that I actually meet with, and he adamantly expressed to me that you know, sub-twos and seller finance deals were probably not, Rochester was probably not the market for it, which was kind of discouraging, but I'm hopeful that I can make that work.
Here's the thing, I want to be very respectful. You can find those deals in Rochester. They're in Rochester and out of Rochester.
Okay.
And then you got to understand, you know, there's people on this call over here that are finding, you know, $200,000 houses for $100 grand.
Right.
If you talk to some real estate agents, they'll say, "Oh, that's impossible. You can't find them." I don't argue with them. It's just that, you know, when you're focused on looking for just those types of deals, are they just out there? Are they going to land on your lap? Absolutely not.
Mm-hmm.
But you're out there, you're looking for them. It's just like when you buy a blue car, you start seeing blue cars all over the place.
Right. Exactly. You're gonna find
Same
one.
thing. You know, so yeah, you know, I'm not saying your real estate agent is wrong.
Right.
You know, it's just that he's focused on other areas. He's not focused on that because he's not looking for those. So don't let that discourage you.
Yep. Actually, we have one of the busiest real estate agents and brokers in Rochester on the call right now, Colleen. How many houses have you sold this year, Colleen, so far since January 1st?
Marissa, what does it say on that sign over there, that board? How many houses have we sold?
We're at 226.
226.
And how many to investors?
The majority.
Probably 200 of them at least.
Okay,
Yeah.
there you go.
Nice.
Yep.
Not all agents are created the same, and
Right.
Colleen is above and beyond.
That's
By the
awesome.
way, if you want to get connected, Colleen is an unbelievable resource.
Okay. Awesome. Thank you.
Yeah, you're
I'm
very
putting my contact information in the chat if you guys need it.
Awesome. Thank you, Colleen.
No problem.
Thank you, guys.
You're very welcome. And then we're going to touch upon some of the stuff that you're talking about too, Raymond, too.
Okay.
All right.
Perfect. Thank you.
Anyone else who's new want to speak up here? Don't be shy. The ones that are shy don't make any money here. I'm telling you right now. You better get your questions answered.
On that note, hi there, it's Celeste. I was here actually one evening meeting. That was my first meeting. I was simultaneously trying to cook and get my son into the bed. But yeah, that was my first opportunity to join the REIA, and found it really enlightening, especially for a new investor. Much like Tarsha, I am looking for a career change as well. I'm also working full-time. Well, not also, but I am working full-time, which is why I can't cam up right now. So I'm here to learn, to grow, and to network as well. I started getting serious in August. And since that meeting that I attended about 3 weeks ago, I've completed my business startup to kind of formalize the business and the things that I do underneath what I've called Home Sweet Home Solutions. So I'm looking for distressed properties, tired landlords, those sorts of things. Looking to learn and grow and support anyone here in that way, in any way I can, and also see if I can bring deals to the group as well.
It's fantastic. Now, and are you located in the Rochester area also, or where are you located?
I'm in Rochester. I'm actually up in the Charlotte area.
Perfect. That is fantastic. Well, we're glad you're here to join us.
Thanks for having me. Appreciate it.
Very welcome. Anybody else?
Our last new person bailed.
That's all right. They got shy. It's all right. First of all, does anybody have anything or any questions that they'd like to talk about or go over? Everybody's good. And by the way, this is going to be kind of open forum because I don't want to just be doing all the talking. Because I want us to be able to interact just like now, just like on the chat room, people are writing down numbers and people they want to connect. Same thing here too. Okay. Because, you know, I know like now Colleen, she spoke up, says, look, she's got guys, people who are looking to buy. And yesterday I called, I think it was yesterday, I called up Colleen. Yeah, that's right. Yeah. So I'm going to be showing her guys a property. Why? Because I know that her guys are looking for properties. Why? Because she speaks up on this call. I don't know how many properties I've sold with Colleen lately. And, bottom line, feel free to, you know, to talk or either that or you know, raise a question. Okay. I just want to touch upon a couple things there. Number one, in regards to some of the seller financing, some of the things that's going on here in Rochester. And I think it was Raymond. I think that was his name. I want to be respectful. Hopefully that was his name correctly here. He talked about some of the seller financing. Anything is possible to find here in Rochester, and whatever. I don't care what market you're in, you're going to find whatever it is you're looking for. Right now in this market, it is tough because everything is selling in a heartbeat. A lot of the sellers know this. Obviously, we're finding people that are actually having issues: distress, time, health, moving, family, divorces. You know, basically, we're being brought into some type of situation that needs to be solved. Okay. And there are people who will hold mortgages, who will do subject twos, or basically just go in there. You can take over the mortgages. I know there's a team, Joe and Jennifer Della Fave. They started doing subject twos. And I mean, last time I talked to them, they had 18 deals going on. I think they got more than that right now. Okay. So they're crushing it. And the reason why I'm bringing that up is because all they're focusing on are subject twos. They will, you know, and while they're focusing on subject twos, they're still out there. They're finding deals, whether they're wholesale deals or they can actually wholesale them out. So while they're still focusing on that, they're still open to other opportunities, and they're still able to somehow be able to make money on those or refer them out to other people. Okay. As you get more and more experience, you'll be able to say, okay, I can do a subject to with this. I can do, you know, owner tape, you know, owner, can you hold paper, mortgages, or can you pay cash? Okay. So don't let, I've had tons and tons of people, including real estate agents, tell me that I can't find these deals that I'm looking for. When in reality, you know, and I'm very nice about it. I get it all the time. And I tell them, I go, well, I have this deal and this deal and this deal going on. They're kind of like, what? Really? Yeah. It's because that's what I'm looking for. And for some of you, they're talking to other real estate agents. Look, all of us have gone through a ton of different agents. Some of them are better dealing with just retail. Some of them, you know, some of them know how to deal with investors. Some of them, I've talked to some of them. They don't even understand the concept, because, you know, I'll do for myself, and most people know I do the wholesaling. I have rentals. I also fix and flip. I also do commercial properties. And some of them don't have the concept of being able to deal with all of them. Some of them just understand, okay, white picket fence, nice roof, nice house. I have to sell to, you know, to basically just people who just want to move in. They want nothing, you know, they don't understand that. And that's okay. So like someone like Raymond, yes, definitely listen to your friend. At the same time, keep looking for other people. Colleen Bracci, she understands investors. She also understands, people who just want to buy a house to live in, which is fantastic. It's just kind of like a one-stop shop. Okay. So if I have a property, which I brought to her a property yesterday, which is out in toward North Greece area, gonna be a nice, fantastic flip. Now, for me, what I thought was, okay, I can kill two birds with one stone. Number one, she's got somebody who's looking for flips, and that person looking for flips either wants to use it as a rental, or they can sell it down the line to somebody who wants to do an owner occupant. So she can buy it and understand the numbers prior to the investor buying it, and then can also sell it on the back end to the homeowner. Okay, so that's just one of the things. And for me, it's just quick. Right now we've got, I think, around 16 or 17 properties we're doing right now. I don't know, just a quick glance over here. So for me, it's just, okay, quick. Okay, so take advice from people, but don't just take advice from those people only. All right. Any questions on that? Everybody's good?
Joe, I can tell you just for and I want to say this to the new investors, like whenever I meet a new investor who's just starting out in the Rochester market, the very first thing I say to them is that they need to be a part of this group. It's that valuable. It really is. And not only for the alternative financing strategies, but the landlord support, or I'm sorry, housing provider support is definitely invaluable. And, I've been doing this since 1984. And every time I get on this call, I learn something new every time, because things are so fast changing and there's people in the know, so this is definitely the place to be if you want to learn all about Rochester real estate investment.
And Joe's being modest so far on this call, but he's also like on every billboard. His face is on all these billboards all around Rochester because he's probably the most prolific wholesaler
Totally.
in Rochester, hands down. So you want to network with Joe, and if you're looking to learn about wholesaling, he does some mentorship as well, and he doesn't advertise that either. But when you're here looking for mentors, if you're have any type of skill sets whatsoever, you are good, with Excel spreadsheets, you're good with PowerPoints, you're good with making phone calls, help them out like they're helping you out if you can't afford to pay, right? It's not, sometimes it's barter. Sometimes it's not just cash out of pocket. You can make a living in real estate without having to have money change hands.
And Joe likes to be called Pumpkin.
No. Colleen and I have nicknames for each other.
I call him Peaches all the time. So.
Oh my God. Oh, that's so. Colleen called me one day. She goes, "Hey, Pumpkin," and I go, "Hey, Pumpkin Pie," and so that's my name for her now. Yeah, to reiterate what Colleen is saying. When I first joined this group, it was fantastic because that's the only reason why I was able to actually walk away from my job. Okay. And a lot of I was just construction background, crap ass educational background, graduated college, graduated high school, barely. But this networking is what has enabled me to be able to even saying the word job gives me angst right now. It's so crazy even just be able to say that.
You and me both.
Yeah. So, definitely get connected to this, and look at Colleen. For those of you on this call, she's done over 200 some odd houses, and she has people who are she has people she works with that have millions and millions of dollars in cash right there, right in front of our eyeballs. And her contact is right there, right on our screen. We can call anytime. And by the way, for those of you in Rochester, we're all within 20 minutes of each other. Okay. We're not calling from out of state. We're not from out of the country. We're all within 20 minutes. Okay. One of the things that I wanted to touch upon, and I've been getting a ton of calls. I'm sure a lot of us have too. Look, we all know the market is just insane right now. Everybody's trying to find deals. Everybody's having problems finding deals. I have real estate agents that call me up for deals, and I'm like, you got the MLS. Why are you calling me? Because we can't find anything. So they're reaching out and they're reaching out. Okay. But besides all of that, what I've been hearing is, and I don't care if you're experienced. I don't care if you're looking to buy and hold. I don't care if you're a wholesaler. I don't care if you're a flipper. Okay. If you do commercial, residential, everybody's out there trying to network. Everybody's out there trying to find properties. And, you know, and I've had conversations with people. People, you know, people are like, why is this person finding the deal and why am I not? Okay. I've talked to people who are so frustrated. And I've talked to people who are just trying to like, Joe, look, Joe, you know, I wanted to be able to just get this one property before fall and haven't been able to get to one, you know, and I want to be able, I figured if I got this property, it'll get me well on my way. And they're all frustrated. And a lot of them are like, okay, you know, so, you know, the great thing about this group, we can actually call each other and be able at least to talk things out. And some people that I talk to, they're like, you know, they want that magic bullet. Just like, okay, Jill, tell me that one thing so I can find a deal as soon as I get off the phone with you. And unfortunately, it's not just one thing, you know, and a lot of times, you know, I'll ask people, because in this business, look, we're all basically trying to build a multi-million-dollar business. All of us are. And what it all boils down to, because no matter what, it boils down to sales. And yes, we are trying to buy. And some people are like, well, Joe, I'm not a salesperson. I want to buy. I'm a buyer. Yes, you're a buyer. At the same time, you're also selling yourself. You have to get people to want to work with you. You're trying to scale your business, okay? Because people are buying you first and what you offer them second, okay? And the difference, what I'm seeing between the people who are, because look, a lot of us will go to properties and there'll be 2, 3, 4, 5 of us, okay? What's the difference? Why is somebody else getting the deals when there's other people there? And more importantly than anything else is going to be rapport. Basically, your ability to be able to connect with these people. That is a major, major factor in what you're going to need to learn. Because, you know, getting in real estate and being able, okay, you got to do the marketing. You have to send out the cards. You have to do the networking. Those are the fundamentals, which is great. Okay, it's a great foundation. So now all of a sudden you're out there, you know, you're doing the advertising, you're doing the marketing, you're getting some phone calls. Some people aren't getting any phone calls, and some people are getting a ton of phone calls. Great. Now the difference is what happens when you get that phone call? What happens when you go to meet with somebody? It's a whole different ballgame, you know. Oh my God, I'll give you a perfect example. Last night at 10:58 p.m., because I didn't see the text message till this morning, guy texts me, hey, my place is in foreclosure. It's 3.5 acres. Okay, didn't tell me much. And I saw the text message this morning. I looked at my phone. It was probably about, about 5:45 in the morning. And then I said, well, I can't call the guy right now. It's 5:45 in the morning. So I put the phone down. I went back. I happened to text him, hey, listen, is it commercial, is it residential, blah, 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 whatever. And he texted me back like a minute later. I texted him at 6 o'clock. I looked at the clock, 6 a.m. I texted him and he texted me back. And when someone texts you back that quick, that fast, that early in the morning, that usually means there are some serious issues going on. And he texts me back and he goes, it is what it is. Okay. You know, he didn't tell me anything. I'm thinking, okay, is this guy just not for real? Doesn't want to deal with me? I texted him back very nice. I said, listen, all I asked was a very basic question. Obviously you can't answer that question for me, which tells me you're not really serious. I hope, and I put in capital letters, you are not really going into foreclosure. Have yourself a great day. I appreciate your time. And I sent it. Within 30 seconds, he calls me back. This was at 6:02 a.m. this morning. And I answered the phone and he goes, listen, I wasn't trying to be an a-hole. You know, I wasn't trying to be a jerk off. I'm just getting these people, these yahoos that keep calling me, these clowns that don't know what the heck they're talking about. And after spending about 3 or 4 minutes on the phone, usually 6 o'clock in the morning, I'm always doing stuff, getting stuff situated. But the important thing was that within the first 2 minutes, I was able to establish rapport with him. And he goes, and I asked him, I go, listen, his name was Greg. I go, Greg, can I ask you for a favor? He goes, yes, what do you need? I say, can I call you back within about an hour? Usually in the mornings, I usually have my stuff going on here at the same time. I knew that when you called me at 6 o'clock this morning, that you definitely have an issue that needs to be resolved. He goes, yes, I do. And he goes, thank you so much. I appreciate it. You sound like you know what you're talking about. And boom. And that was that fast, that quick, within 2 minutes. Okay. And the reason why I was able to do that, and what I tell a lot of people, and I still do this today. I've been doing this for a while now. And even today, when I first started, I had a script that I work with. I make the script to my personality, and I would practice the script, because when you're talking to people in real estate, you're going into problems, you're going into issues, and you have to be able to differentiate yourself. I don't know if I can say that correctly, from other people, from the competition. Okay, and I would be in the car. A lot of people think, and don't worry if you're talking to yourself in the car, people think you're talking on a phone nowadays. So they don't look at you like you're crazy. Okay. But I have a script and I always make it to my personality. And a lot of times too, I'll always, I'll figure out some other way to say, okay, what if this person says this? Or what if this person says that? Because I promise you, you're going to get it. Okay. If you want to hear crazy stories, Colleen Bracci will tell you some unbelievably crazy stories of people that she deals with. Okay. We can all write books. And I have gone into properties, and I know other people that have also had this experience. For myself personally, I've gone into properties, I've offered the people less money, and they took my offer because they had more confidence in me than they did the other person who went in there and offered them just a little bit more money. Okay. So, and the reason I was able to do that is because I knew ahead of time what I needed to talk to them about, how I needed to present it to them. Okay. And I've talked about this on other calls before. There's certain words I don't use. There's certain things I don't say. I need to be able to make sure that they know that I'm on their side, not just some adversary. Okay. A lot of times, whenever we talk to people, or whenever we even especially in person, when you walk into a house, people see you as, okay, you want to buy low and you're gonna, try to rip me off, and you're gonna sell high. You're gonna make, they watch those shows, you're gonna make $50,000. Oh my God. Okay. So you have to be able to, you have to let people know that you're actually human, just like they are. Okay. And by the way, is there anybody on there that actually has a script, or has done this at all, or is doing this right now, or is trying to put one together? Nobody has a script that they've ever used? I must be the only one. I wanted to find out what some of the people do to be able to put some of those together, just so that way I try to come up with all different scenarios, because when you start talking to these people on the phone and they've got issues, you need to be able to know how to answer it. The guy that I talked to this morning, he lost his job. Okay. So I already understood what he was going to be going through. I knew that ahead of time. Why? Because number one, I've experienced that before with other people, but more importantly, I already knew how to talk to him and what to say. Okay. And, you know, on some, like with that gentleman over there, I didn't say, well, you know, I totally understand, you know, it must really, you know, I didn't say, okay, it sucks and this and that. Basically, the conversation I had with him, I said, listen, you must be going through a lot right now. Because he told me it'd been in foreclosure for right around 3 years. And I don't use the word I, me. I just kept talking about him. And by the way, I don't use it in a way where I want to manipulate people. It wasn't meant to be used in that type of spirit. It's basically letting people know in a very quick manner that, hey, I understand. And that guy felt comfortable enough to be able to say, hey, yes, no problem. I definitely want to talk to him. By the way, I did call him back. And I'm actually going to be referring him out to another gentleman that I work with in Buffalo that I've gotten through networking to see if I can actually help this person. Okay. And any questions so far, by the way?
No questions in the chat, but you did get a couple comments from Tarika. I did pronounce her name wrong because I read it wrong.
No problem.
My apologies, Tarika. And Raymond both said that they do have scripts that they've used in the past. Tarika said she was a salesperson, so she had some. And Raymond has a collection of his own. So
perfect. And by the way, which I'm sure they know, or all of us know, don't do what I used to do when I first started, which is read it verbatim. I had one guy say, "Are you reading a script?" I'm like, that call did not turn out good, by the way.
that's awesome.
Yeah, I'm going to tell you, that's how you learn. And then I remember, I'll never forget, I had one guy that called me up off one of my ads, and he goes, first of all, before we even start talking, I need to know your experience, because I've had a couple of people call me already, and they sounded like they just left one of those guru classes. That's what he said to me. And he told me, okay, what's your experience we got? And I literally within 90 seconds, he goes, okay, let's talk. He goes, obviously you know exactly what you're talking about. And yes, we are in sales. Okay. Whether you want it, whether you think you are, or whether you think you're not, and whether you hate it or not, we are all 100% in sales. Okay. And there are great books out there. You can actually, I know we've talked about this before. Your strength of language will, and I've said this, your strength of language will always correlate your bank account and your success in any business you're involved with. Okay. I mean, one of my favorite books is How to Win Friends and Influence People, Dale Carnegie. That book has literally, and I am not kidding you, literally has made me hundreds of thousands, if not probably, oh my God. Yeah, I'm over 7 figures with that book, no problem. Easily.
Yep. Raymond actually mentioned that book about 30 lines up in the chat box.
Did he? Oh,
he did.
Great.
He's already in the right area. He's got the right mindset.
That is fantastic. And I'm sorry, go ahead.
I was just going to say, and I threw out Jeff Gittimer's Little Black Book of Contacts, because that one's huge for networking as well. And that's a sales book. Jeffrey Gittimer does, like, he travels the world teaching people how to sell using their personality and owning their own business. So he's good people.
Mm-hmm. And then I don't know if anyone else has any other books. I love the book Never Split the Difference by Chris Voss. That's a great book. Those teach you how to basically be able to establish rapport, be able to talk with people. I don't know if anyone else has any other books they want to recommend.
I just started the E-Myth. Have you guys read that one?
I've heard of it.
Yeah.
Never read it.
Yeah, I think it was Bigger Pockets. Like they always, seems like every 10 episodes, somebody mentions it or one of the people on the call. So I decided to get it. And It's definitely interesting. And I'll just like summarize. I'm only a couple chapters in, but there's like in every person, there's like the entrepreneur who's like the forward thinking person. There's a technician who's like in the presence of like, what do I have to do today? And then there's the manager who's like the person that's like focusing on compliance and trying to like minimize what the entrepreneur is doing because it's like scary to think about the ambition that they have. And it's like these three personalities in your head that are battling each other at all times when you're starting a business, and how to properly balance them. If you're more on the entrepreneurial side, you need to focus on the managerial side. Like it's pretty good so far. And I can't speak to it in its entirety because again, I'm only like about 100 pages in, but really, I think it's a good book so far. It's I highly recommend it. It's called The E-Myth, and E stands for entrepreneurial. That's the giveaway in the first chapter.
Perfect. Thank you.
Yeah.
And by the way, another thing people can do for me, I go to YouTube every single morning. I do literally mean every morning, and I'm constantly listening and learning. I love listening to John Maxwell. There's tons of other people. This is a people business. Okay. A lot of us have goals of getting out of our jobs, whether some people just want to be able to take care of their family. Some people want to be able to, build a business, leave something for their kids, whatever heck it is there. This is a very key component. I learned this, which was what was able to get me out of my construction job. Okay. So for those of you who don't know me, I have no educational background. I suck on computers. So anyone who knows me, I tell people I start mine up with a hammer. I am so not kidding you. Okay. So all I got really good was working on myself and being able to develop these skills. Okay. Because doing the practical application of building the business, of the networking, all that is fantastic. You need to do that. At the same time, you have to blend that in with your ability to be able to talk with these people, to be able to let these people know that you are the light at the end of their tunnel. Because if you don't do that, they're not going to go with you. And a lot of us already know this. So the people who don't have a lot of experience with this, you're going to find out that majority of the calls you're going to get, you're there to solve an issue, you're there to solve a problem. Okay. And I've said this before. I've gone to people's houses. People have cried. People were literally fist fighting 2 feet away from me, within arm's length, got into fist fights with me. The family members. Okay, it's crazy some of the stuff that you're going to get involved with. Real estate is great. What screws it up is people. Okay, as crazy as that sounds. So that's why in regards to if you're getting phone calls and you're not getting to where you want to be, start thinking, okay, what do I need to do? What do I need to prove? What do I need to be able to let these people feel more comfortable? What's going to get me there? Okay. There are so many different personalities, and you'll learn, obviously people with sales background do very, very well in real estate, because they start to understand how you have to be able to relate to people. Okay. And, and for me, it helped me scale my business. Okay. Because you got to understand, 99% of us who get involved work jobs. I was working 40, 50 hours a week during construction. So all I had was my evenings. So I had to do the most with the least amount of time. Okay. And I'm like, okay, how do I have to do that? So when I had time, I would constantly be listening, be learning. I mean, I'm trying to read still till this day, and if you're happy where you're at, that's fine. Okay. Now for a lot of people that I talk to, they're very frustrated. And then once they start to understand, said, wow, you'll start to see the difference. And I've seen that difference, because I'll go and I'll talk to people. I'll say, hey, listen, because there's some people that are doing 3, 4, 5 deals a month. And I ask them, what are you doing? They're not sitting in front of the couch. They're not sitting there in front of the TV. If everybody has different goals. So don't take what I want to do as, okay, bottom line, what I'm doing may not be right for you. If you want to do one deal a month and you're happy with it, that's fine. Right now, I'm talking to people who want to scale their business. Because if you want to leave your job and you want this business to sustain itself, you're literally creating a business. It's not a hobby. Okay. And all I realized was that, okay, where do I need to improve? And my strength of language is what got my business to do this. Not only was it the networking, not only was it the advertising, I had to work on myself. And also too, is that, when you got downtime, what are you listening to? What are you doing? And I'm constantly, again, I am so not kidding. I'm constantly, people think I'm on the phone in my car. I'm not, I'm talking to myself. And now for me, I want to move into much, much bigger commercial deals. So that is a different type of language that I have to have with those sellers. It's one thing when you're learning and you're working on a $25,000 property, a $50,000, $100,000, $1 million property. When you start getting into multiple $1 million properties, it's a whole different ballgame. So you got to be able to show the numbers. And when you're dealing with people who there's a big difference. What I've noticed are people who own residential properties and want to sell, and people who own commercial and then want to sell. It's like a different language because now you're talking numbers. Okay. So if they're unsure about you, they're going to be like, I don't want to deal with you. Okay. So again, it all boils down to rapport, and that rapport is going to be built with your ability to be able to communicate, to be able to talk, and to be able to say, okay, this person can solve my problem. Okay. Has anyone had a phone call with anybody where they felt like, okay, I lost that person because I didn't give that person confidence? Has anyone gone through that or anything even like that? And don't be embarrassed. Believe me, it's happened to me. I don't know how many times. Don't be afraid to speak up here because we all like to learn from each other.
Oh, I definitely have. I can say that for sure. Right in the beginning, when I first started, it was tough and I had to learn. And as I did more and more, I built up confidence. So it's just the more phone calls you make, the more confidence you get.
Yep. Yeah. Brandy and I, we had conversations about that. And yes, you got to get thick skinned. If you're in sales, you're already ahead of the game. If not, it's okay. Anybody else? Somebody's had to gone through it.
Joe, it's the same thing for me too. In the commercial side of the storage facilities, I had no stinking clue of what to do, what to say to, my first few calls, whatever. And I would get people swearing at me and hanging up on me and what have you. But the more and more I got through it in the past few months, I'm still learning and whatever, but again, it's a learning experience, it's a growing experience, if anything. And now I'm it's nice to come down to their level of why they want to sell and, trying to listen and understand them is what it's all about. And basically keep your mouth shut and let them talk to you, let them sell to you is what I'm learning more and more, and it's been getting better and better. So.
Yeah. That is so 100% true. Yep. And that's part of the learning curve, and I'll bet you were scared to pick up the phone the first few times, weren't you?
Joe, I hated it. I don't hate talking to people, but actually I do. I mean, not really, no, because when I was at the restaurant, you think, oh, well, I'm a people person. You go and talk to your customers. I couldn't stand it. I was always in my office or hiding in the kitchen. I'm like, I don't know what to do. I'm so shy. Now it's like, hey, what are you doing today? I'm like, I don't care anymore. It's like, so what? I mean, what's the worst they're going to do to you? Yell at you? Okay, move on to the next one. Nothing you can do.
Yeah. So, yeah. And just so that way you understand is that he had to pick up the phone and call a stranger that wasn't even expecting his phone call. Okay. So do that.
Yeah.
So do that. Like a lot of us are advertising where they're calling us. Now, Now, I also pick up the phone and call people. Do we like doing it? No, none of us do. But we also know it's part of the business. And I knew that once, a lot of us on this call, we had to get really good at hearing that and really good at saying, okay, I'm just going to pick up the phone, because I knew that picking up the phone was going to build my muscle to be able to talk with them, to be able to get on the same page with them and be able to learn their language. You're not going to be perfect. It's not going to happen. Done is better than perfect. Somebody handed me one time a card that said that. And I was like, wow, it's true. And he handed me this card at a AREIA meeting. Oh my God. I don't know if it was like maybe 7 years ago, maybe 8 years ago. I still have the card. And the crazy thing about it is that I don't remember who gave me the card, and I feel really bad about that. And every once in a while it comes out, it's like, oh my gosh. So I've learned, I don't care if I'm not good at it. I'm just going to go about the business of doing it, because I knew I had to do that to get out and get to where I wanted to be. Okay. So yes, picking up that phone is, nobody wants to do it. They'd rather pay other people to do it. Once you get to that point, you can do that. I have people who make phone calls for me. At the same time, I still do it. And if you really want to, if you can handle picking up the phone and making phone calls instead of waiting because I don't wait for the phone to ring. Okay, people say, well, what do you mean? I say, I'll pick up the phone, I'll call people. And I don't care if it's another real estate agent, if it's another investor on a house, I'll do something, I'll call somebody. Okay, that is the way you're going to scale your business. Now, I don't want to scare people off. There's a lot more to this than what we're talking about. I'm just trying to cover all bases for everybody. Okay. Has anyone else had any other experiences in regards to, talking to people, whether it went good or bad? Anyways, any good ones?
Joe, I just want to chime in real quick. I just heard this recently. It says, if you talk to a lot of people, you make a lot of money. If you talk to some people, you make some money. And if you talk to no people, you make no money. I thought that was pretty good. Yeah.
I was taught that many, many years ago. And I had a guy actually say that to me right to my face. And he was, I don't know if the word was nice about it, but he was very straightforward about it. And he goes, you want to get out of your job? Yeah, I do. He goes, you got to talk to a lot of people.
Was that Danny?
Yeah, that was Danny from another business. Yeah, him and a couple other people.
Yep.
But it was from a previous business I was involved in, which involved with talking to people. Okay. And by the way, if anyone has any other questions that's being brought up with this, please feel free to bring those up. Okay.
Tarika actually had one. She asked in the chat box if we're allowed to do cold calling now, because during the state of emergency, I think in New York, it became illegal as part of the order. Pretty sure the state of emergency was declared done before Cuomo left, right? Isn't that over now?
I think so, but we're still doing cold calls. We've never stopped. So I don't know. That's a good question. I don't know. Can anyone else attest to this?
I think the ban against cold calling were for licensed people. I mean,
It was like telemarketers were banned, something like that.
Yeah, and like real estate agents couldn't cold call for a while.
Really? I didn't know that.
Yeah.
Huh. That's interesting.
I know if you're selling something, you can't call. But I didn't think that pertained to us, but I don't know.
Yeah, because we would cold call people, see if they want to sell their properties, see if they were, depending on what the situation was. It's very interesting. Again, consult your attorney and or CPA. I don't want someone going to jail saying, well, Joe said so. You, please. Yeah, you know, in regards to the cold calling part, I used to have to make the phone calls. I used to do a lot of them. And then we got to the point where we were, you know, I was able to have someone do those for us. I still do them, especially now getting into the commercial side of it. But I feel more comfortable with it than when I first started. Again, you're trying to scale your business. Okay. And, you know, I tell people are like, well, I want to leave my job, but you need to be able to have a plan. Well, I do, you know, I'm advertising, I'm marketing. How many deals have you got? There's one guy that I know, he's been in real estate for about 5 years now. And I applaud his effort that he hasn't given up. He hasn't done one deal yet. Not one. And he's always reaching out to me. And I know part of his problem is his language skills. And just the way he talks with them, and you know, and he's always looking for the magic bullet. But I keep nicely having that conversation. He'll touch base with me once in a while, tell me what's going on. He's frustrated, and he sees everybody else around him making deals. And I keep asking the same question. I go, how are you working on yourself? You know, and I never get a straight answer. You know, how are you practicing? How are you, when someone calls you up, you know, how are you talking with them? How are you dealing with them? How are you giving them that type of confidence? Okay. We're building a multi-million-dollar business, and you cannot have, you know, you cannot have a $12 an hour, $15 an hour wage mentality going into this business. Not even a $25 an hour mentality, not even a $50 an hour mentality. You're building a multi-million-dollar business in which a lot of us want this thing to be running by itself. Okay. You need leadership. There's a bunch of other skills that are entailed with this. So, you know, we're entrepreneurs, which basically we're building a business. If you only want to do one house here and there, that's okay too. If you love your job, you love your career, and you want this as a hobby, you can do it at your own pace. Okay. There is a ton of people that you are competing against. Rochester is one of the top 10 cities in the country to buy real estate in. And if you think you're going to come into this marketplace just laxy daisy, could it happen? You could also win the lottery. I don't know. You can hope for that. I don't hope for that. Okay. There's a lot of people that want what all of us want here right now. What are you doing differently? What are you working on? What are you learning? Okay. And this is a great place to be able to network. I mean, it's called, look at some of the people you can connect with here right now at any time. Okay. Any questions with that?
Hey, Joe, can I bring something up to the group?
Yeah.
That, I mean, I was shifting gears or not, but something's been bothering me about this one lead, and I want to know what you guys think, if I can present this to you guys real quick.
Absolutely.
So there's this guy, this one lead I found in Alabama, a storage facility owner. And I called him on September 22nd, and, you know, it was an off market property he wanted to sell and what have you. 2 days later, after talking to Scott Spear about it, you know, we talked what we're going to do. I emailed him the contract, but in the email I said, I need, you know, certain due diligence documents. I need rent roll, Unimix, P&Ls, all that stuff. Because beforehand, our first conversation, he gave me all the numbers off the top of his head. You know, I make this much a month, blah, blah, blah. Okay, but I needed a document form. I said, you know, of course, as it goes. That was the 24th when I talked to him last. Then I actually followed up with him on the 29th to see if he got the contract. He said, I did. I said, okay, when can I expect those due diligence documents, you know, so I can formally make evaluation and we can, you know, enter the due diligence phase and hopefully get this underway and whatever. Every time I talked to the guy, he was always running around. He always seemed like he had to get off the phone quickly. Except for our first conversation, because I guess he had another business. He wants to get out of the storage unit business, but he's got to get into something else. But again, he's always in a hurry. So at what point do I say to him, look, I appreciate, that you want to do what you want to do, but I mean, I don't know how else to say this to you guys, but shit or get off the pot. I mean, are you going to sell it or not? Because I know it's about cultivating relationships. And I understand that. I totally get that. And I'm fine with being patient. But I want to call the guy today again and be like, listen, man, do you want to sell it or not? Because I need these. I can't move forward until I have what I need. Now, and I mean, I got other leads too that I'm cultivating as well. But this guy is he's kind of not a pain, but it seems like, it's funny. The first phone call, he was really excited, motivated about selling the place. He's like, I'll tell you my price. I'll give you all the information. I want to get rid of this thing now. I'm like, okay, great. So that was the first phone call. He was all motivated. Now it's like, it seems like, well, I'm like, and he's asked me if I'm serious. I'm like, I'm the one that sent you the contract. Of course I'm serious, So what do I do, guys? I mean, from your experiences and stuff, I'd like to know, please.
I can tell you this. One of the things that I found is, first of all, I've talked to people like on big multifamily. Sometimes they're not as organized if they're that busy. I'll say, listen, I want to be respectful here. First of all, sounds to me like you're pretty busy. So you may have, say, look, be honest with me. I mean, do you have everything down on paper or do you find that difficult? So I like to at least give them a little bit of an out. I don't want to corner anybody. Okay. Oh, sorry. Someone trying to chime in? Oh, okay. Sorry. So, and now one of the things that I also don't want to do, I don't want to let people think I'm just sitting on the sidelines waiting for them. Now, I just did a deal about 2 weeks ago that we got under contract. And basically I said, listen, I want to be, first of all, that guy over there, the way I would handle it, I'm not telling you to, I'd be very specific. I should be like, listen, I understand you're busy and I'm trying to help you out. I'm trying to help you get unbusy. Sounds to me like either you love being unbusy and you're uncomfortable with not being busy, or you're just really in love with the storage space and you really don't want to sell it. Oh, no, I want to sell it. I want to sell it. Okay, great. Listen, I want to be respectful here. I like your storage unit. At the same time, I have another partner of mine that's bringing 2 other storage facilities because I am looking at other storage facilities. Right. I want to be respectful to them. Okay. So that's why I want to be respectful to you right now. I'm letting you know, look, I have this cash. At the same time, if I tell someone I'm going to take their property, I want to be a man of my word. Okay. So I need to take the bird in the hand. I want your property. I want to take it. At the same time, you have to be able to help me here. What do we need to do to get this paperwork? Okay.
Yeah.
Because I can't just have this cash. I can't just have this cash. I also need to be respectful to my partners too. So what you're doing is you're doing a couple of things. Number one, you're taking out of your hands because now it's about you. No, it's not about you. It's also about your partners because I know you're looking at other storage facilities. I know that for a fact. You say, and I know you're looking all throughout the United States. Okay. Mm-hmm. And then what it's also doing is saying, wow, this guy's got cash and he's not going to sit there. He's not going to wait for me.
Right.
So what I ended up doing was I had a lady who just kept putting me off. I said, listen, I want to be respectful here. At the same time, I'm looking at 2 other properties. Now we were looking at 2 other properties. I said, I want to be respectful. I got to take the bird in the hand. I want your property. Okay. I'd rather buy yours. At the same time, if my partner brings this other property to the table, I have to be able to also make sure I have enough for them and to be able to do what I have to do with that other property. Could I have some more money down the line with yours? Yeah, maybe. That's down the line. Okay. Be nice. you know, and you know, but don't say, listen, don't do a, you know, listen, either you got to tell me yes, or I'm going to take the other property. Say what I'm doing, I'm leaving it open. Okay. And for me, by the way, I'm a type of person, 1% doubt, I'm out. Okay. And what I mean by that is if I have any little bit of doubt about somebody with the numbers, I tend to be very weary.
Yeah,
Okay?
but Joe, the one thing I've been seeing a lot of, even though whether they're those or not, a lot of leads you find this in storage is kind of interesting, is that a lot of them just don't have their own set of books. It's crazy, dude. They just have everything.
I believe it. It's cash, a lot of cash.
Yeah.
I get that. You know, I still find that in, you know, in residential. So you have to have a healthy balance, and you can figure that out, but, you know, by obviously doing your due diligence, you know, say, look, and let them know, say, look, I know this is a cash business. Okay. I don't want to get personal. And what I also do too, to make them feel comfortable, I say, look, everything's going to go through the attorneys. Okay.
Yeah.
So at least that way they know, look, say, look, I'm not somebody who just wants to get your information. I'm just, all I need is the numbers. Okay. And so I try to give them I don't want to corner them. At the same time, I also let them know that, hey, and by the way, how much is this deal? What are they asking?
Okay, it's 9,000 square feet, which can be expanded to 50,000 square feet. He wants to sell for 130,000. That's $14 a square foot, and I almost fell off my chair when I heard it. I'm like, I can't believe it. And I called Scott immediately. I'm like, Scott, we got to get this stuff now, now. So, you know, that's what's, and the cool thing is that it's an oversupply market, but every single facility in the area is full within a 5-mile radius. It's nuts. I'm like, I'm like drooling right now. I got to get this thing, you know?
Listen, don't fall in love.
I know.
You know, look, you know, here's the thing. Well, that one deal that I was doing, that lady, I told her, I said, look, you know, who kept stringing me along, it was a $275,000 piece of property, which I was picking up for just a little over 100. And I said, look, by the time I'm done here, I not only have to put aside the purchase price, which is 100-something thousand, I got to put aside not only the holding cost, the closing costs, and the fix-up costs. I got to put aside $200,000 that I have to put aside. Okay. So that's why I want to be respectful. I need to know what we can do here to get this thing to move along. So like for you, you're going to go in there, you're going to fix it. You're going to do it. I see you're going to do a little bit of fix up, I would assume. And then to do the expansion, I mean, your expansion, you what, $35 a square foot, whatever it's going to cost you. You're going to put what, maybe $100,000 to $150,000 in expansion. What are you thinking? 50 to 150?
Well, actually, I'm looking to sign the contract.
Oh, okay. All right. So that's no problem. You know, the thing is that, you know, you got to let them know where you're going to be in total. Okay. And so that way they know you're serious. And, you know, and what it does too, when I told that woman that I have to put $200,000 aside, automatically in her mind, subconsciously, unconsciously, this person has all the money that they're going to need.
Okay.
So that way, don't let people think you're just sitting by the wayside for them. And
well, but I need to find the balance of when to be a stick of their butt, but lay back so they don't get scared off. You know, it's difficult.
Yeah, I don't. That's a learned skill. I've never talked to this guy. I mean, it comes a point in time where it's just like, you know what, you know, I had a guy one time. He kept stringing me along. I go, you don't want to sell this, because yes, I do. I go, no, you don't. I had nothing to lose. I was nice. I made him laugh. I go, you are in love with this place. Honest to God, I said, you are in love with this place. You do not want to let this place go, because subconsciously you are part of this place. No, I'm not. I go, yes, you are, because you would have sold it by now. We're still at the same spot we were before. So what does that tell you? What does that tell me? You got to do it very nicely. Okay. And I know you know how to handle that.
Okay. Yeah. Yep.
So again, it's a learned skill. It's not like a set of rules,
Right.
that you can deal with. And I've had to walk away from deals with people who just kept stringing me along.
And it's something that doesn't just apply to real estate. It's all business. Like when I
Yeah.
sign a contract for my consulting services, I'm not a cheap date. I get $130 an hour minimum. That's my start.
Yeah.
And in my contract, in the language, here's the stuff that we're going to have that we're going to deliver to you at the end of this project. This is what you'll have when this is done. Here's just as long of a list of all the obligations you have as the customer to provide me with for this to succeed. And if you can't do those, I can't do these. And it's written in stone in every contract. There is zero wiggle room.
Well, exactly what my contract said. I mean, if I don't have these due diligence documents, we're not going to move forward. Period. End of story. That's it.
Yeah.
Simple as that.
And that's why you fear of loss. More people are moved by fear of loss than they are that of gain.
Yeah.
Okay. So all of a sudden, okay, this guy's he's got money and he wants to fix it up. He's setting aside, but he's also looking at other storage facilities.
Okay. Okay. That makes
I kid around with him and say, listen, you must really be in love with this place. I do. I'm not kidding you. I say that to people and a lot of them chuckle. I am so not. Yes, you are. You must be. I'm trying to help you here. Okay. Let me help you have more time. And, and then you take it from there. I've never talked to this guy.
I know.
But I'm sure you can handle it. You've done enough calls now and you've done enough learning and listening where you got a good handle on it.
Yeah, hundreds and hundreds of calls so far, but yeah, I know.
Yeah.
But
don't fall in love.
I know, Joe. I know you're right.
It sounds like to me you're seeing love. I think you're about ready to go buy a ring and propose.
I know.
So let's see. Yeah, and let us know. I want to know what happens with that after you talk to him. Let us know, please.
Yes, sir. Of course, absolutely.
Right. Perfect. Anybody else? I know it's almost 10:30 here, so we're getting ready to wrap up over here. And by the way, I'll stick around for a few minutes afterwards, just in case. I want to be respectful here because then we try to wrap up by 10:30, so that we can go off and do what we got to do over here. But I want to thank everybody for being on the call. Don't forget about next Thursday morning and next Thursday evening. And I appreciate your time. Go buy some real estate. Have a great day. Andy, thank you very much for everything. And Joe.
No sweat.
Yeah, no, very good meeting, Joe. I like these meetings.
You guys make it, not me.
Yeah, well, it'd just be a bunch of people sitting in a room with no one talking if you didn't show up, Joe. Just saying.
I don't like doing all the talking. I like to hear from other people and see what the heck they're doing. That's how I learn. I want to learn. When I talk, I don't learn.
It's truth. That's the truth. And while we were on the call, if you didn't see your text, Scott had another storage facility space get rented. He forwarded us the text message he gets.
Oh, man.
Seriously, he's in the middle of a conference and he's making money.
That's the beauty of real estate, baby.
All automated systems running in the background.
He's in Miami, Florida.
Yep.
Making money.
Living the good life.
Yep.
Making money on real estate and driving around the country in an RV.
Yeah. By the way, he's partners in 8 of them. He sold one of them just the other day, and he's working on 2 more right now. Yeah. And he's in Miami. And next week, I'm going to see him in Phoenix, Arizona.
What's in Phoenix?
Storage facility, mastermind. So I'm going to be flying out there.
Oh, you're going to the Sin Summit?
Yep. Mike
Oh,
Wagner.
nice. Nice,
Yeah.
nice. That'll be fun.
Yeah.
That'll be fun. I saw Masha was posting a bunch of stuff about it the other day on LinkedIn and Facebook and whatever. So, because she's going to be there doing another speaking thing. Is Scott talking at that one too?
Oh,
He
no.
spoke at the first one. earlier in the year.
Oh, the storage room, that I don't know. So that's a good
Because
question.
he had his own little workshop panel that he was in for that. They asked him to speak.
Yeah, that's a good question.
That got him his national speaker title.
Yeah, no kidding. National Speaker Scott, Bank of United States Spear.
Oh, Seth from Tompkins' team. Hi, Seth. How are you? He just asked if anybody's looking to add to their portfolio. I'm going to say everybody here is probably here to add to their portfolio.
That's a big fat yes. What do you
Beautiful.
got,
I love
Seth?
it. I do have something. Joe, you may or may not have seen it, but right now it's off market. I can send you details on it.
Send it, please.
Sure.
We got money. If you hate money,
You gotta spend it.
You hate money. You're gonna hate my guts.
You gotta burn the money. You gotta burn it.
Oh my gosh. Yeah, send it over. I'd like to see what it is.
Sure.
When people tell me, oh, there's not a lot going on. Yes, there is. There is a ton of going on out there.
Okay, Celeste just asked for information on the meetings. So Thursday of next week, there's a housing provider support meeting, which is landlord focused. They don't do what we do in this meeting. They talk about being a landlord and the legal challenges going on right now with the moratoriums and operating properties for income. That's their meeting. So that's next Thursday morning at Ezzy's on Buffalo Road at 8:45 in the morning. You get there a little early. It's in the back room. You get coffee, you get breakfast. Meeting starts at 9 and goes until about 10:30, just like this one. The evening meeting is at 515 State Street. Same place where Metro Cowork is, just other half of the building. And there'll be pizza and like water and soda. But that's the general meeting, and that's where Chris Sardone, who is a CPA that Joe was mentioning at the beginning of the call, he does a lot with entrepreneurs specifically involved in real estate investing. And he has, like Joe said, saved him a ton of money in the last, God, I don't even know how many years.
That's an understatement.
Yeah. And he's going to be talking about all the craziness that's happened in addition to what you need to do to prepare your information for, your tax filing. He's going to be going over the stuff from the EIDL loans, the forgivable EIDL advance, the PPP, if you took it, what's the impact on the eviction moratoriums and lack of rent income. How are you recording back rents coming from federal assistance and state assistance money? Like all that stuff is going to be part of his conversation with the members, and you'll be able to ask questions and go back and forth. It'll be live and it'll be on Zoom, provided the technology works the way we hope it will. This is our first blended general meeting where we're going to have a remote audience and an in-person audience at the same time. So cross our fingers, all that stuff sitting in those boxes there is the hardware for it to make it go, hopefully the way we want it to. So
yeah, I don't know. I'm mad that I might have to miss it because I'm going to be in Phoenix for that in class. So I'm going to try getting on because I know over there it'll be 3, so it'll be 4 o'clock in the afternoon. I don't know if I'll be out. And I love hearing from Chris because it just, oh man, it's affecting all of us and then some.
Yep. And the other piece is Joe kind of opened the door for this one. It will be recorded, again, provided the Zoom technology works as intended. We will have it recorded and it will get posted up on FFREIA.com. The caveat is, unlike this meeting and the housing provider support meeting that go up on YouTube, the general meetings are members only. You have to be a paid member and you can only watch them on FFREIA.com.
Perfect. Man. That's going to be a good meeting. So hopefully everybody's going to be doing real estate when they get off this call.
Earlier, you mentioned Joe doing mentorship, or was that someone else? So there's a ton of mentors that are part of FFREIA, and they don't advertise themselves as mentors necessarily, but they're always willing to take a phone call.
They can call. You guys can call. you know, and we always do what we can to work and help. The great thing about this group, we all work with each other and we all help each other out. All of us do, because we're all going in the same direction and in the same place. Okay, which is this. That's what actually sets us apart from a lot of the other REIA groups, and you'll start to see that. We give a lot of information away for free.
Yep, and your membership basically pays for itself, not just in your networking and your network is your net worth, but legitimately, if you're flipping or property managing or doing any type of work, you literally get a rebate from Home Depot that pays for your membership in the form of a gift card. Like you spend $8,800 and your membership is paid in full.
Yeah.
If you are working on properties, I promise you, you will spend $8,800 in a year.
Yep. And by the way, if it wasn't for this group, I would still be working a job. Ooh, makes me sick just thinking that. Oh, even saying that. Oh. So, and I am not kidding you when I say that. So once you get to know me, you'll be like, yeah, if Joe can do it, a tree can make it in this business. Okay. When it comes to not knowing about computers, all the other stuff, I am so not kidding you. And Andy will tell you, when I call up Andy, I know his eyes start rolling back and he goes, oh God, what stupid simple thing can Joe not figure out?
I never roll my eyes.
I'm okay with it.
I never roll my eyes at you.
I can't see it, but I know it, but that's okay. I'm all right with it. It's all right. Oh man. All right. I don't know if there's anything anybody wants to talk about real quick. Otherwise, we're all going to get going. We got real estate to do today, people.
All right, go make some money. Thanks, everybody.
All right, go do real estate.
Thanks a lot, guys.
Go, everybody.
Have a great day, everybody.
Thanks, Seth. We'll see you later. Bye.